Hey traders, Marcello here, founder of the Day Trading Academy. Today we're going to be talking about the best countries for traders. So one of the things that I always look for, and for those of you guys that know me, I've been traveling around the world now for 8 or 9 years, over 100 countries, all 7 continents. I've lived in 12 countries spanning 5 continents. For those of you that know, I'm kind of based in Colombia now. I'm not there more than 6 months out of the year, but we obviously have the trading center there. We have a lot of traders in Mexico as well. So if you're interested about day trading and traveling around the world, I think you'll find this video really interesting, because I think there's a variety of things that I look for, and a balance of things as well, whenever I look for a country to stay in long term. Now, whenever I do travel, if you are going to be trading or learning to trade, whatever the case may be, there's a few things that you have to consider when you're traveling around the world. First thing obviously is the internet. Another thing would be the time frame, and obviously another thing would be I'm gonna call it maybe the environment or the quality of life. You know, if you're making a lot of money trading, you know, you might be watching this video because you're looking for some exotic countries to go to. So even though a country may be very expensive, for example here in Singapore, we're at the Marina Bay Sands Resort, which has pretty good internet as well, you might not want to stay in a place like this because you can get the same quality of life or quality of living in another place that's a fraction of the cost. Okay, so first thing is internet. You know, I'd say 5 or 6 years ago the internet was a bit of a challenge in certain places. The only place in the world where I would say it's probably still a challenge is Africa. Most other places now, I think for the most part, you have 4G wireless networks. You know, you don't really have to worry too much about the internet access being reliable enough. And for those of you that don't know, you don't need a super high-speed internet connection in order to trade. That's actually not the most important thing. The most important thing would actually be the quality of the internet connection. So you don't want it going in and out, right? You minimum speed, I would say, is 1 meg download, 0.5 meg upload. There's a great site that I found called speedof.me, speedof.me, and it's a great new internet service that I found that I definitely think that you guys should use. So when you're looking to go somewhere, ask the owner of the apartment, you know, what's your download and upload, and you can literally ask them for a screenshot of the test, or you can send them the link. You know, if you're looking on Airbnb, I had a lot of luck on Craigslist. Obviously that was a long time ago. So that's the first thing, it's quality of internet, which for the most part now you don't have to worry about. Even in most of the interiors of Europe or even South America, Latin America, you don't have to worry about it. Europe, honestly, there's a few places that you might have to worry about, but after that is the time frame. So this is personal preference. I don't want to wake up at 4 in the morning or 6 in the morning to trade. I prefer waking up a little bit later. So for me, anytime, I would say Central Time Zone, Chicago, all the way to about Singapore, where I'm at right now, is the best time frame. Obviously Central Time, I'd say between March to October. It's going to be Mexico all the way down to, you know, Colombia, Peru, Chile, Panama, and then, did I say Chile already? Yeah, and Ecuador as well, though I don't recommend you guys going to Ecuador. Then going to the eastern part of Brazil or Argentina, Buenos Aires, you're looking at, you know, 9:30, 10:30 in October, specifically in Brazil. You're looking at 10:30, 11:30 a.m. And then, someone's getting in trouble. Then after that, you're going to go obviously to Eastern Time, or going to Europe. For me, Europe has the best time zone. The market's open at 2:30 to 4:30 or so. You know, if you're in Spain or Italy, you go out, have a good night, eat dinner at 11, 12 at night, party, wake up, go to the gym, 12-ish, and then after that, you're ready literally to go to the gym, or excuse me, ready to start trading, right? You go to the gym, eat, and then you start trading. So for me, that's perfect. Going to Eastern Europe, you're looking at 4:30, 5:30. I hear Ukraine is great this time of year. Other than that, once you get obviously to the east, to the Pacific, when you go far east, it's going to be a little bit more of a challenge, because when you're looking at places like Shanghai, Sydney, South Korea, Japan, you're looking at trading 12:30, 1:30, 2:30, 3:30 in the morning, and it's a little bit hard to balance that time frame. I think the best time is right around Singapore, so Thailand to the Philippines, right around there, all the way down to the western coast of Australia, which is Perth. And there you're looking at probably anywhere between 7:30 to 9:30 p.m. You're about an average of about 12 hours ahead of the market. And that for me is perfect as well. I lived here in Singapore for, I want to say, 3 or 4 months. It was absolutely great, that time frame. I really enjoyed it because you can have a good day, take a nap, wake up, trade. Obviously, it's great to be able to trade when you first wake up in the morning, because it's like a fresh day. You don't have things that affect you during the morning. Because obviously, if you have a situation where you get into a fight with somebody, or somebody pisses you off driving, whatever the case may be, that might carry over into the trading. Since most of you are new guys, I should say, watching this video, trading is more psychological than it is technical, okay? Other than that, I think a balance of, what I call environment or standard of living, so to speak. Obviously, here in Singapore, absolutely amazing. We wake up, we enjoy the pool for a few hours until the sun comes out. The sun actually starting to peek out now. And then after that, we enjoy the city, and then I can sit down and watch the markets at night. The only problem here is that it's very expensive, very similar to Sydney, for example. So, here a lunch with a steak with puree, which is in English, it's mashed potatoes, $80, $85. That you can in Argentina, or even in Colombia, Thailand, wherever in Asia, a lot of these cheaper countries in Asia, you're looking at $6, $7. So the way I view life right now, or the way I view the standard of living, is that, yeah, I can afford to be here in Singapore, but why not go to somewhere that's cheaper? And for me, obviously, and I think most of you guys will agree with this as well, is that it's nice to be in a place where there's beautiful women and things are cheap to buy, because your money may extend a little bit longer. And it's not that you might be saving money, or it's not that you might be not making enough money, but obviously a 6-bedroom penthouse I bought in Colombia for $120,000, and something like that here in Singapore would be millions, if not tens of millions of dollars. So I don't value money as the most important thing in life. I think quality of life is better, or I would say more the kind of life that you live, so to speak. I'm not a millionaire. I prefer not to be, because I honestly don't want to work that hard. So when you live in places like Colombia or Thailand, or these places that are a lot cheaper to be, obviously you have a situation where you don't necessarily have to worry about money, so to speak, even though you're making a lot of money, let's say. But obviously you can live a much higher standard of living than you normally would in a lot of Western countries. And that's why one of the reasons, for example, I don't live in the United States, because it's compared to places like Colombia and other countries, it's super expensive. A few of the countries I'd list off, Thailand, super cheap. Obviously I have friends in Bangkok and Chiang Mai. Both of them have great internet. You can get meals for pennies on the dollar, massages every day for a few dollars. No happy endings though, okay? Colombia obviously super cheap as well. You're looking at, I have, just to give you guys a little bit of insight into my life there, I have a full-time chef, full-time maid, 6-bedroom penthouse, all expenses, all in, cell phone, electricity, everything, internet, TV. I don't have TV. I'd say it's about $700 a month. And that in the United States, you probably couldn't even find an apartment to rent, or a room to rent. Really, that's what it would cost. Especially in the bigger cities, that'd be astronomical. So Colombia, I'd highly recommend. The city of Medellin, to me, is one of the most unique cities in the world, especially right now. Colombia has something special going on. Mexico City, shout out to my man Jeremy. That's a great city as well. That's not too expensive to live. Buenos Aires, I think, is a good city, but I don't personally like it, because just the vibe there I don't really like. For me, it's a balance of everything, the people, being a cheap place to live, good internet, beautiful women, or I don't know about the men if you're into that, but I've heard that in Argentina they're good looking, whatever the case. But Singapore I love as well, but it's just too bloody expensive. Countries in Asia, I'd recommend the Philippines, but I definitely recommend it based on what my friends have mentioned to me. I think the lifeguard's gonna yell at somebody again. Definitely Thailand, that's a really popular spot. Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia is a good spot as well. And yeah, I think that's about it, guys. So let me know if you guys have any questions. You can put any questions you have on any of the social media, you know, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, with the number tag, the hashtag Ask Marcello. I'll go in and find those and start answering those questions. We're gonna enjoy the rest of Asia. I met Jim Rogers here in Singapore. He actually lives here. It was great to meet him. He even mentioned a few things about Medellin as well. So definitely go and check it out, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Ciao.